Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to speculate a little bit about the potential leader skill for the upcoming Dokkan Fest cell. I want to give you guys my thoughts on what I would like to see. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you want to see, and we should hopefully be getting the full Twitter reveal of his details, hopefully tomorrow, as the unit is the April 1st Dokkan Fest, should be released on the Tuesday morning for me. I guess, to be fair, if it comes out on the 1st, like PST, it would actually be the morning of the 2nd for me. So Twitter details are either going to be tomorrow morning or Monday morning, my time. It'll be late Saturday evening or late Sunday evening, US time, so it'll be interesting to see how close we get with any of these predictions. So do let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Now, Cell is obviously on a lot of categories, and the interesting thing is, we talked about this in the video a little bit yesterday when we got the leak, is it kind of depends which version of Cell it's going to be, because he does get a few different categories based on which version of Cell. Now, the GIF that was tweeted out was obviously of Perfect Cell, but there are two different kinds of Cell in the game, or two kinds of Perfect Cell. We have just straight up named Perfect Cell, and this is the Cell from the very end of the fight, right? This is after he blows up, revives, comes back, and so therefore he is on categories like Resurrected Warriors, he's on Full Power, he's also on Miraculous Awakening, which for the most part is largely a superclass category, but yeah, he's also on here. Whereas then we have the unit that's just referred to as like Cell Perfect Form, and this is just Perfect Cell before the self-destruction, right? So as you can see, he's not on Resurrected Warriors, he's not on Full Power, not on Miraculous Awakening, he's also not on Revenge, which is interesting because obviously I guess he comes back to get revenge against Gohan, so that's another category that gets added. This goes, I think, is the other one on Planetary Destruction as well? No, because yeah, the post Cell, I mean, I guess his self-destruct was going to destroy the Earth, and then he says that the big Kamehameha that is the finale, like the father-son Kamehameha beam struggle thing, would destroy the Earth as well. So Planetary Destruction is another category that he gets when he becomes the straight-up Perfect Cell. So it all depends on which version of Perfect Cell we're actually going to get as the Dokkan Fest. We obviously have this guy who is both units in one because he has the transformation into the Perfect Cell. So of course he's on like all of the categories. So that would be interesting as well. If it's a Perfect Cell who does transform from Cell Perfect Form into Perfect Cell, like this guy does, then obviously he would have all of the categories as well. So we're going to speculate a little bit about what his leader skill could be. Going by the fact that we don't know which version of Cell he is going to be, I haven't really mentioned Resurrected Warriors, Full Power, Revenge. I mean, Resurrected Warriors, the thing is with this Cell, the thing that we really want and that the game really needs now after the anniversary, and now that we've moved into this 220% leader skill meta, is ideally we really want an extreme character that's going to be able to have a lot of other extreme units on the team. And Resurrected Warriors does have extreme units, obviously, but it's not one of those like go-to extreme unit categories. Neither is Full Power. Well, there's quite a few on there, but obviously Planetary Destruction is one that has mostly extreme units. So if he is the Perfect Cell, that would be quite helpful. Miraculous Awakening, again, is mostly superclass. So none of those are really that, like, huge of an impact on him having a good leader skill, other than maybe Planetary Destruction. Revenge has some okay options, but it's a pretty minimal category as well. So I guess we'll have to see. But jumping in, we'll talk about one of the big main ones here, which is, of course, Sworn Enemies. So Sworn Enemies is the main antagonists from basically the main arcs of like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So we have obviously Demon King Piccolo, characters like Tao from DB Saga, and then of course we have all the Freezers, all the Cells, and all of the Boos. So this is a pretty big expansive category, a lot of extreme characters, a lot of these big recent releases that are very good, like the Demon King Piccolo, the EZA for Full Power Freezer, obviously the new Freezer's on there, although I know he's questionable in people's opinion of him, right? And then we have characters like the Tech Buhan, obviously Int Fat Boo, who's still very usable. Int Buhan with his crazy super easy A. Obviously Tech Cell. I mean, we don't really need to mention any Cell units, right? Of course, whatever leader skill this guy gets, all of the other Cell characters will be on there. But Tech Cell, obviously with his crazy super easy A. Said Int Buhan, right? STR Kid Boo. I mean, the free-to-play Freezer and Cooler are not terrible, but yeah, so Sworn Enemies has a nice pool of units to pull from. This is one of those ones that would make a really good option for one of his 170 leads, just because of how many characters are on there. In fact, honestly, one of the things that would make one of the best combos for him is something like Sworn Enemies and then something like Androids, right? Because that gives such a huge pool of characters to open, to choose from. I realised I didn't actually open the Androids page. We've got some of the other ones open, because Androids obviously is all of the androids all encompassed, right? Even the ones, whether they count as artificial life forms or not, like the 17 and 18s, the fact that they don't, whereas some of the other ones do. Whereas just having the straight up androids category, again, has so many of the options to choose from, including some superclass characters, because, you know, it doesn't matter too much if Cell's team is good for a bunch of the extreme units that we have at the moment, but you can fit a superclass unit on there or two that does benefit the team, then that's, you know, still quite a good bonus. But androids would be an interesting one to choose from with Sworn Enemies, just because of the pool of characters it gives, regardless of whether they're all getting the full 220 lead or not. But the other one that I think would be really good as well to be combined with this guy's leader skill is Worldwide Chaos. Because Worldwide Chaos has the androids, it has all of the Goku Black and Zamasu characters. Obviously it still also has the Boos and the Cells on here, so you can see already there's a good little combo with these two. If one of them was to be one of the 170s and the other one was to be one of the plus 50%, that would give us all the Cells, all the Boos on his 220 lead. It would give us options for like the Goku Black and Zamasu. We just got that STR Goku Black World Tournament Easy A, and he wants to be run on a team with an extreme unit of each typing, but he does also get a buff if there is another Zamasu or Goku Black on the team, so another like a buff for them would be good. I mean, characters like Physical Rose, it'd be interesting to see how good he would be on a 220 team, although I suppose he's kind of tied to super bosses. There aren't really any other sort of meta relevant Goku Blacks. Unfortunately, the Tech LR Zamasu's kind of dropped off a little bit now. But another really good one to throw into the mix is Artificial Life Forms, because as we've already said, Artificial Life Forms does incorporate a bunch of the android characters. It also has characters like Baby. Surely one day, I was hoping it might be this time slot instead of Cell, but surely one day we're going to get that Dokkan Fest Baby. We also have units like the Super 17. Tech LR Super 17 is definitely due for an Easy A sometime soon. If they can retool his nightmare of a passive so that he is not in any way revolving around like GT bosses, and can just fully benefit from being on an androids team, he could be good for the Cell team. Obviously this team also includes all of the Boos as well, so again, if we're comboing like either Sworn Enemies or Worldwide Chaos and then Artificial Life Forms, like any combo of these being his 170 and then the plus 50, that gives all of the Boos, all of the Cells a full 220 lead, and we can get some androids in there as well. So definitely some solid options here. We got characters like Metal Cooler. Obviously we don't have any sort of meta relevant ones at the moment. Be interesting. I don't know if Cell Max can be saved by a 220 lead at this point, because obviously Anniversary Power Creep was pretty crazy. The Gammas are pretty good in terms of their like support and how good they can be as a standalone defensive unit. They don't really gel super well with the team, but that could certainly be interesting. And then yeah, there's a couple of other random units on here like the Baby Janemba. But yeah, obviously all the Boos and all the Cells getting the full 220 lead would be really, really good. Now, an interesting one is, of course, the fact that Cell is also on Time Travelers. Time Travelers is another one where if we look at the extreme side, we're getting characters like the Zamasus and Goku Blacks, Demon King Piccolo, of course, all the Cells. We have the Fat Boos are on Time Travelers, but only the Fat Boo, so Int Fat Boo, who of course can still be very relevant even on certain like off lead teams in certain events, because of how good his design is with the ability to revive and then Ghost Usher. Like I've seen people doing even some of the new red zones and stuff, right, with him off lead. So a 220 lead for him would obviously be very good. Characters like Garlic Jr., who again is due an Easy A sometime soon and could be a really good extreme support unit, is a time traveler character as well, so it would be interesting to be on the team. Characters like Bojack, I'm sure we'll get a new one of those at some point. The STR one, I guess, could still be a runnable support, but I know he wants like Space Traveling Warriors allies, which Cell of course is not. But this is another category that includes some of these other characters we've already mentioned, like the Goku Black and Zamasu, all the Cells, a couple of the Boos. So time travelers would be an interesting one. Of course, the Daima characters are on time travelers, so that's a category that's going to be getting more buffs. We just got the Bardock, who is a time traveler's support, and he will support extreme time travelers characters because his passive for support is like 25% super, 25% time travelers. The only problem is if the whole of the rest of the team would be extreme, he wouldn't be getting his intro, so it's probably not the ideal team for him, but that is something that would be an option. Then we've got some of the smaller possibilities, like we've got Target Goku, which is kind of just like a streamlined version of androids, but then we throw on like the babies and the Brolys, which I guess could be interesting, right? Obviously Tech Broly still very, very good, still one of the better slot 1 units in the game. So if he could be on Cell's team as like a dedicated slot 1, that would be pretty good. And then, yeah, we just got a bunch of the other androids, the Cells. Obviously, any combo of this guy's leader skill is just going to have all of the Cell units on there, which is good. Having the androids. One of the things we would obviously love to see from this celebration is a Easy A for the tech androids. But bear in mind, they're not on here, right? The future androids are not on Target Goku, right? It's only the main timeline ones and the GT ones. It's obviously Super 17 as well. So the tech androids aren't on Target Goku. Them having a leader skill, well, actually, aren't they the future ones? No, they're not. Okay, because yeah, they don't have the brackets future. I thought they were because they've got the like destroyed future city in the background, but I guess it is what it is. So there's a couple of interesting options here with a lot of overlap, right, between all the Cells, all the Boos. We've got the Freezers being on Sworn Enemies as well. I think Sworn Enemies is a really good one for the 170 because it's the one that includes all of the Freezers. The other one, which, I mean, it's kind of a cop-out because I think we've gotten one recently as like a 170 lead, but Transformation Boost is another really interesting one. I mean, yeah, you can see here, Daima Vegeta has Transformation Boost. Tech Buhan, who came out towards the end of the year, has it. Daima Goku has it. But like Transformation Boost is a really good one because so many of these extreme characters are on here. So it's another one that would make a really good like 170 lead. And then so many of these characters like the Boos and the Cells and the Freezers are on here. So if he had Transformation Boost even as one of his plus 50s, and then his 170s were things like Sworn Enemies. Like imagine, I think one of the biggest combos to get all of these characters on here, if he had Sworn Enemies and Worldwide Chaos, right, which has some of the androids and like the Goku Blacks and Zamasus. Sworn Enemies has all the Boos, Freezers and Cells, and then he has Transformation Boost as one of his plus 50%. Like so many of the, if not all of the Boos are on here, the Cells, some of the Freezers, the Goku Blacks and Zamasus as well. Like that'd be a really good leader skill combo for him to give a lot of these extreme characters a full 220% leader skill. And then obviously some of the other ones, like I guess if he's going to have multiple categories, that's the thing. If he's going to be like we saw with Daima Vegeta, right, he only has 2 170s and then a plus 50%, right? And then we have the new Kid Goku who has 2 170s and 2 50%. So it depends what we're going to get for this cell. Ideally, the more the better, of course, right? 2 170s and 2 50s would be really good. So something like Sworn Enemies and Worldwide Chaos, and then Transformation Boost and maybe Artificial Life Forms would give such a massive selection of extreme characters that would be getting a full 220% leader skill. And it just leaves the door open for all the future versions of those units, right? Any new Boos, if we do finally get the baby. Obviously, there's going to be a part 2 LR for this celebration. Now, the last couple of years, well, last year it was the Ginyu Force to go with Topo, and they did actually, like they were kind of designed for his team. There's always, of course, the big meme of like Kale and then her part 2 unit being AGL LR Super Boo, who did not work for her team and did not help her like at all really. So hopefully the Part 2 LR for this celebration is a unit that goes on Cell's team. Although, of course, I've already speculated. I made a joke about it the other day because it was the big thing when STR, Goku and Gohan came out, and then the AGL Cell, that we were finally going to get the LR by Guys Goku that people have talked about for probably for years now, as he's not like a proper unit in the game. He could end up being the Part 2 LR, which would potentially not be useful for Cell's team at all. I suppose the only other option that we haven't really talked about, of course, is the fact that the Android/Cell Saga category, but I don't think I would like this being one of his main leader skills, right? Because we want him to be a really good extreme leader for a variation of extreme characters, and obviously this one is just very limited. I guess it could be one of his plus 30%, plus 50%, just so it covers all of like the cells and the other androids that are on there. But I don't think Android/Cell Saga would be a very good option for him for a leader skill. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So like I say, I think the best choice for his lead is going to be Sworn Enemies and Worldwide Chaos 170, with the plus 50% to transformation boost and artificial life forms. That gives us like basically all the cells, Boos, Freezers, Goku Black, Zamasu, a bunch of the androids. Like, I think that makes a really good all-encompassing extreme leader skill. Babies as well. Like, I think that just works very, very well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What would you like to see from Cell's leader skill? And yeah, potentially we will find out tomorrow just how close we get with these predictions. So let me know all of your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ninja. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.